to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What's up, Webb? I'm Smitt, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a couple weeks. I went on a little trip, Webb. I'm still in vacation mode. I got my
hat on.
My beach head. This is what I go in the water with most of the time, trying to keep the sun off my white pale face. That I already had a little skin cancer, so I kind of go out in the water like this. But representing, I got the Cape May bucket jam. So, but Webb, this is Wager Maker Podcast number 93.
Time flies when you're having fun. 93. Who knows? Who would have thunk it way back when? 93 comes to mind. John Randall, defensive. I guess maybe he was a defensive tackle actually for the Vikings. And we talked about earlier. You mentioned Dwight Freeney. I always liked him. He was like a low draft pick who came out of kind of nowhere. Did he go to Syracuse? I think maybe. I don't know where he went.
Maybe Syracuse. I think he came out of college had good numbers, but they kind of labeled him as being a little too small.
Right.
Coming out, but certainly explosive. Great. Turned out to be a great defensive end.
He had a long career too, but I'd rather give it up to John. He seemed like he was crazy back, and he always painted his face like on all black or something, looked like a Batman bat on his face type thing. Not that's what it was, but I'll go with John Randall. That's no problem. Give it up to my buddy Belfi for the Minnesota Vikings.
I like John Randall. He's always one of those ones that real good to have mic'd up.
Yeah,
always barking, doing something, talking some shit, all that kind of stuff. It was
like those
always
guys.
fun.
He's a football player,
right?
Yeah.
Always fun to see those when they're mic'd up, and the guy's just one of those dudes, 100% motor all the time. Freeney, by all accounts, was the same way.
Yeah. And
Freeney, unfortunately for him, was like the only decent defensive player it seems like on the Colts for years while Peyton Manning was there. It seemed like he was like the only guy. They might have had a safety. Like they had a good safety.
Terrence Mathis, maybe didn't they have? They kind of a bookend too. That was it. Those two, and I don't know who else they had.
Right. Always an offensive team, but he supplied the pass rush for them. So
yeah, absolutely.
And I also saw Doug Gilmour, famous NHL player. Played
That's a big name. That's a big hockey name.
But we're John Randall. John Randall's right for you. John Randall.
The hockey guys. We're gonna go with a hockey guy. It's got to be a slam dunk.
Right, Wayne Gretzky.
Right.
All right. Although Webb, and I said it here before the playoffs. My Vegas team that I had the futures bet for the NHL, the Stanley Cup, looking good, bro. Looking good. I don't think Montreal's going to knock him off. That's for sure.
I don't know. That goalie was real hot for Montreal. It seems like he's cooled off a little bit. So that looks good. That looks good. And my Carolina Hurricanes are out. So it's amazing. Tampa Bay looks probably the best. I mean,
I don't know. I kind of think Vegas is the best team of the four left, but we'll see what happens.
That's a very easy argument. They're going to beat Montreal. I'll tell you that. They're going to be in it.
I mean, that's 1-1. The Islanders are giving them all they can handle so far. That's 1-1.
But that's kind of the same. They're in the same boat almost. Not really, but Montreal was the worst team to get into the playoffs. And they rode that hot goalie, which is, hey, that's how you do it. But
right. I mean, Vegas to me had to get past the best team was the Avalanche, and they were able to do it after going down 2-0. Then I think they won 4 straight after that.
And it's funny because we talked about it. They took Marc-Andre Fleury out of goal, and they put the other dude in.
He gave us 7 goals in game 1. But really, maybe Fleury did just need a rest.
Right.
That first series
might have worked.
Went 7 games, and maybe that was the difference, but obviously you don't want to come out game 1 and be like, "Hey, we're little coach's decision change on this and lose and give up 7 goals." And it's like then Fleury came in and played great the rest of the
he's good. I mean, like I said, clearly it worked. I mean, obviously you can if you in hindsight, it's a great move, but it's just funny though. Like, they're taking Fleury out. Oh, Wager Maker Express
early, making an early visit,
early and often, baby.
Right.
But the hockey playoff. Smith, I can't get enough, and it's I'm watching almost there. I would get bummed now. Like usually it was like 2 or 3 games. Now I'm like, what? I was on there the other night. I'm like, whoa, there's no game till Sunday. What the fuck?
Especially once a couple of these series were over.
Now,
it was waiting a couple days to get
bet
going.
Great too.
Yeah,
I did take. Who did I take? I definitely took Vegas in the series, and then I think I might have took a flyer on the Islanders, just betting against the
big number maybe.
against a repeat. So that's working in Vegas's favor too. So you're in a good spot there. You're in a good spot too with the Suns, but that's now CP3's got COVID or something.
Right, but the good thing about that, I got just so you know, hey, we mentioned it here before. I got to add the futures bet on the Suns winning it all, and I hated that Vegas. They're lucky to draw. They ended up with Avalanche real early, and the Suns ended up with the Lakers real early. Suns folded like a
Lakers
folding chair. Yeah, Lakers folded like a bunch of sorry bastards that we said that we were all year long. Funny today, I'm listening to Bobby Hebert on the local news here, Webb, and he says, AD is no alpha dog, that's for sure. And it's like straight out of your mouth.
Verbatim.
Straight out of your mouth. There's no alpha dog.
Verbatim. And for us, Bobby Hebert was I forget where he went to school somewhere now, but he was a Saints. He's a backup, like a journeyman quarterback. But he had a moment in the sun for the Saints, obviously with the name like Hebert. It's Hebert, right, Smitt?
Right.
The
H is somewhat silent.
Clearly,
it's not like Herbert, like the
right.
Like the kid
clearly, he's Cajun.
Right.
So he's got some sway down New Orleans way. But clearly he's stealing some shit from and that's not the first time that shit has been brick by brick has been used by Barstool Sports as well. So we'll take our copyright. We'll wait for that check to come in the mail from both of those motherfuckers.
If I'll go to Bobby. He's got a restaurant down here too. Cajun Cannon.
Right.
I have to go down there and say, hey man,
you owe
alpha
me.
Dog. Who's the alpha dog now?
Who's the alpha dog now? Give me an alpha dog steak, motherfucker.
But they folded, Webb, collapsed. I hate to dwell on the Lakers and LeBron. I feel like we've been hard on him in the past, but he just kind of, it seems like he asked for it sometimes.
I don't know what happened to him. We were championing LeBron. Listen, we're clearly we know who's the best now between the comparison between MJ and you never hear no whine and bullshit like this nonsense. Right. Now he's coming out with today. What did he do? I knew we were going to get it. Bitch, shut up. Play fucking bad. Everyone else played the same shit, motherfucker. We're supposed to feel bad because you won the championship. That's your excuse to come out and bitch out and fold like a wet paper bag, a cheap ass tent. Come on, man. Here's
the quote. They all didn't want to listen to me about the start of the season. I knew exactly what would happen. I only wanted to protect the well-being of the players, which ultimately is the product and benefit of our game. Here's the product and the benefit of the game. Get out there and play ball on TV. That's the That's what pays the bills.
Yeah, earn your $42 million this year, asshole.
Right. These injuries aren't just quote unquote part of the game. It's the lack of pure something. I don't know. It goes on a little.
He was never game managed
before starting back up. How about maybe these guys shouldn't have taken like tonight's guy is Kawhi, and I get there's guys been going down. So there has been guys going down in the playoffs, but they're dudes that take off. They've been taking off all year long. Kawhi takes off all year long. Now he's down. The Nets. Those guys, they did each of them play 20 games this season?
Yeah, and they're at least they're not making excuses. I mean, KD went out last night was a fucking animal.
KD was ridiculous.
Animal.
We've been hard on these guys. We're hard on the best. We're hard on the best. But KD was ridiculous last night. What did he score? He almost scored 60 points. He had like 15, 18 rebounds.
He had 49, 17, and 10, I think was the line. And Harden didn't do dick. And of course, Kyrie, who knows? I mean, Kyrie's hurt.
I don't think Kyrie played, right?
He did, but I guess he's hurt. But again, he does. There's no benefit of doubt. Maybe he's, he needed maybe his ego was hurt. Who knows what was going on with him? But now let's backpedal to LeBron. They adjusted the schedule. There's 10 games less. Right. So is there any mention of that? Is there any mention of, if you don't play, you don't get fucking paid? How about that? I mean, he don't need the money. How about every other guy that needs the money?
What if they said if they would said, listen, we know it's going to be a tough schedule. Let's draw it out for an extra 2 months so you guys got more days of rest in between. What do you think LeBron would have said then? Oh, hell no.
Hell no. Same thing.
That's my Bahamas time. I'm not going on my yacht by then.
No. He's got to make a movie.
Right. Yeah. But don't speak Orlando. Do not speak Orlando, and he's got PTSD. He said about Orlando, about literally living in Disney World. He says he's got PTSD about that.
You can't make it up. Literally, that's where they had to play Disneyland. And that was too hard, man.
Literally does. The funny thing was the European players like, this ain't so bad. That's what there's other dudes.
Dudes from the Ukraine are like, I got this.
I'll just stay here. We'll start next year at the same spot, same time.
What do you mean? I'll just stay in this hotel. They're going to bring me food, and no one can get to me, and I just got to play basketball every other day. And you're going to give me how much? I'm good.
I just thought it was weird, that we've given LeBron a hard time, but we've also acknowledged his place in the game and how much of a dude he is. There is, but the way the Lakers went down, bro, they quit.
We call them appropriately.
They gave up.
We're going to call you a bitch. If you play hard, if you're the man, we're going to tell you the man. He is not. Since the beginning of the playoffs, he's been backpedaling. He didn't want to play. That's the bottom line. He did not want to play in the playoffs, and he's been making any excuse to do it. And we know Anthony Davis, first of all, cannot make it. He's like I don't know if he's like a deer with his ankles or whatever, but he cannot make it through he cannot make it through. If he can't make it through 72 games, right. Forget 82, and then forget 3 rounds of playoffs. So you're done. And a lot of the moves they made backfired. The one dude was talking, what's the dude's name? Schrader? One of the guys, like the ultimate insult. Like he unfollowed the Lakers or some shit, right?
Yeah, before game 6 or whatever it was. Yeah. Yeah. He's no longer following the Lakers on Twitter or Instagram.
Can you hear the collected vomiting of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley? I'm missing several players, but Patrick Ewing, I'll give him credit even for that. He was a baller, at least. You didn't see him whining and bitching. Dude played every night.
I just we had to. I know it's been a couple weeks now, but we skipped a week. But I just had to bring up the Lakers a little bit. But I'm happy the Suns are moving on. Unfortunately, CP3 with the COVID protocol or whatever. But fortunately, they're done. And Utah and the Clippers are kind of battling 2-2, I think, in their series. So it might be another week until he's got even a step.
Well, they're going to space it out anyway. They're going to play it out. I think it's 2-2, but Kawhi is out, right? We all know Paul George is another one that the being in the bubble was way, way, way too much to handle.
To call Anthony Davis and Paul George Robin to Batman is like an insult to Robin.
Right.
That's right. I mean,
that's insults to sidekicks,
man. They're like, yeah.
That's insults to sidekicks everywhere.
Right. It's an insult to Laurel and Hardy. It's an insult
to that's Abbott and Costello. Let's bring it Mo or Shemp, whatever the fucking Three Stooges. Break it down.
AD and Paul George are not sidekicks. They're not helping out. It's not Sherlock and Holmes. None of those.
And it's the same Paul George when they were down 0-2. They said, we'll be fine. Okay, now Kawhi's out, and now you got it. Now it's 2 minutes to go. And you're down 3 or up 3. Who's you're gonna apple up like a bitch.
So all right. So they just folded. But what I'm saying is, as far as the CP3 thing, he might not have to be on the court for another week or two.
Well, you're gonna get the game tonight, right? In Utah. Assume they win that. I think the next game would be game 5. I think that's
a weekend, maybe Saturday or Sunday, probably.
That'll be at least a game. So what's today? Wednesday. So that won't play till Friday. Maybe Monday that game might start. So I don't know. I mean, if they win the next 2, which they probably should. Donovan Mitchell, I don't think gets enough credit. He was hurt and was fighting to come back, and he had a little thing with the team about not bringing him back or not bringing him back properly. But that dude's a baller too, man. It's he kind of came out of nowhere. He went to Louisville, and I think they were in the ACC at that point. I'm up on the ACC for sure. He matured once he got to the league, so props to him.
Right, and then in the other series, we love to hate on the Nets. Nets pulled out a tough game last night. Obviously, we mentioned already Durant was really the key to that because Milwaukee lost the first 2. I think they came back and made it 2-2. But the big pivotal game always is Game 5 in those 7-game series when it's 2-2. The team that wins in any sport, the team that wins Game 5,
right? So they're going back
statistically goes on and wins that.
That's what's going to happen. Utah is going to win tonight. They're going to go back to LA, and that's what. Then Game 7 will be at the higher seed. That's the same thing with the Nets. They're going to go back to Utah. Excuse me. But now, I mean, listen. I gotta listen. KD was superhuman, but what's going on with Giannis, dude? I mean, he's supposed to be this good player? Now you decimated New Jersey Nets team with a rookie head coach, although, Nash has been around, but it's a different ballgame coaching. I don't know. I mean, again, superhuman. They could still win the series, and this will be a moot point. But at some point, you got to earn the money, right? I mean,
I guess, but I guess in some towns, like Milwaukee, maybe they're just happy to have a somewhat of a superstar and make it a couple rounds into the playoffs every year.
He's definitely bad. I mean, there's no doubt he's up there. I mean, but I guess you got to look at his number 2 and his number. They got to overpay. I mean, they got to max out Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday to keep him there. You know what I mean? To keep him in Milwaukee. So that's not the best support. And then one dude got hurt too. I think the Italian dude from Villanova got hurt. I don't know what's his name, some long name with a G, but he got hurt too. So they are a little bit hurt, but I don't know, man. At some point, when you're, 2-time MVP and you're making, but again, an ungodly amount of money, at some point you got to earn it. But I guess going up against KD, I guess KD earned it. So that's a tough draw. So I don't know. I was thinking
they didn't play bad. Man, look, they were one play away from being right there last night too, even with as good as KD. In fact, I think it was Giannis who kind of missed a like it was a pass underneath the basket to him that he kind of flubbed, and it was a big turnover. They were down. I think they were down by 2.
That's my point. I mean, that's what you're almost getting paid for in this moment, to beat that team. And it just seems like in that moment, KD just earned his money and Giannis didn't. So.
But anyway, I'm happy about the Suns. Need to get CP3 back out there, and they're right one of the best. They'll be in the Final Four. Vegas is in the Final Four. I got a shot at two big ones, Webb.
Well, listen, Vegas going to be in the finals. I'll tell you that right now. So
I like them tonight. Actually, even laying the goals tonight.
Yeah, but that was still a number. I think it was on the money line was 260, and minus a puck and a half was, I think, 160. I stayed away tonight. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Okay, let's get in a little bit. I don't know. I think sometimes we dwell on. I think it's because we're fans. We're big time fans. We love sports. We love competition of any kind. It could be ping pong. It could be It could be whatever. That maybe sometimes we get down on these dudes a little unfairly, but sometimes it feels like we care more about the teams that we love than they do sometimes. Is there something that means once you make obviously these dudes love the game to get to the point where they're at in sports. Is there a point that like once you get paid that sometimes it's not the same, or is it just perception that it's not that big of
I think there's no doubt. We're all human beings. Once you get paid, it absolutely changes you. You're not hungry. Absolutely. You're going to give me $100 million guaranteed. You're goddamn right. I'm not going to. Why would you expect? Why would I work as hard? I mean, it takes a special person. I mean, there's Tom Brady's out there. The dude doesn't even want to. He's like, let's spread the money around. I mean, there's different people, but I mean, the majority of them do. I mean, there's some mutts out there, but the majority of them do work. Hard still. There's a lot of pride that goes into it, but it gets to be a business, and the ego is another thing. I mean, the money is almost not even that you're cashing the check. You just want to get you need to announce it. You know what I mean? So it does change you. It's human nature. I mean, we all change once we get some money in our pocket, and then that's just an ego game, and that's it. I've never played big time sports, but it's almost keep up with the Joneses type thing.
All right. So locally here, this is kind of a local story, but it was kind of a bit of a surprise. The Pelicans fired, since we're in the NBA, Pelicans fired Van Gundy today.
That's not a shock to me. He never should have been hired. I know he said that.
Well, after 1 year, it seems like. So I'm listening to local radio guys, and they're like, "Man, you got to just keep the NBA players happy. He didn't mess with the players. They weren't happy. They like the players coach more, like Gentry." Who was last year?
I'm not agreeing with that.
Do the dudes want to win, or they just don't give a shit? Everybody wants a players coach. What's that mean? He just lets you do whatever the fuck you want? Is that what players coach means?
I don't know. I mean, I'm certainly. I mean, players now clearly, obviously, are more empowered than they. I said it. We've said it a million times. If I'm an owner, give me the contract. You own the team. They're look what's going on throughout the NFL. These quarterbacks, it's just too much. But I mean, you got to find Van Gundy. You know, I don't know, an old white dude is just to me. It seemed hard. That's an old school dude. I mean, you got to find You got to find Monty Williams. You had the coach.
I've said it for 2 years on this show. Said it for 2 years.
Dude,
look where Monty's at now.
Yeah,
look where Monty and CP3. And CP3.
You got to have the right mix of players and coaches. You got to have some leadership there, the veteran leadership. Like you just mentioned, CP3. A bunch of those dudes kind of been kicked around too on the Suns a little bit. Devin Booker. I mean, it's been a couple dudes been on a bunch of different teams and talent. Jordan Clarkson for sure. So you just kind of have the right mix. But I don't know what Van Gundy did to earn the job. He didn't do dick in Orlando. He didn't do dick in Detroit. I mean, he just proved it's like when the Jets hired Adam Gase. Like, he just hired a dude that proved he can't do the job. It didn't make any sense for me to, he was an very good assistant coach for a long time when the league was different. You're trying to turn these guys into something they're not, players coach or not. You got to have some relevance and be able to relate at least.
But so I get it. You play the players more, you got to make them happy, whatever, or they at least have to be open to what's going on from the coaching. But what does 19-year-old Zion Williamson know about winning the NBA? What does Brandon Ingram, like, who are we taking these, like, who are we trying to make happy? Brandon Ingram? What does he know about being a winner in the NBA? Ball? What does he know about winning NBA? Like, who is there on his team that's being like, man, we got to make sure these guys know what they're doing to win. We're going to make sure that they're happy.
Well, I mean, is that the narrative? I wouldn't. I mean, if those guys if ownership or David Griffin or Griffith is cow-timing those guys, then you're fucked.
Right.
Because that's not, it's not like LeBron James saying, yo, man. And,
right.
There's no leaders. That's a rudderless ship. That's just a twig on like a river just floating. There's no direction. You're never going to win. If that's what you're doing to these players at 22 and 23 that have never had any discipline, none of them in their lives. Between the three of them, there's 2 years of college, I think.
I really like Gentry. I loved having Gentry here. What the fuck? You didn't play for him either.
Right, because he showed up, rolled the balls out, and fucking read the newspaper. Right. You guys fucking
smoked some bowls, and hung out.
Right, exactly.
Gentry looked as stoned as Brandon Ingram does on a press conference. Right.
He had the best weed.
Right. So I just don't, man. Sometimes you can just see teams that are just going, and this is a never-ending cycle for the Pelicans organization. First, they had Baron Davis at one time, never got anything around him. He went off to do good things at other places, Golden State, other places. Behind him right after him, CP3 came in.
Yeah,
never really
real good at that point.
And then all of a sudden, they drafted CP3.
Right.
And so,
once he got good, they got him good, and then they let him go.
Well, then a few years go by of nothing happened. Same thing with Anthony Davis. I mean, I don't. Like we've been hard on Anthony Davis, but I don't blame him for not wanting to be here. He knew they're not going to win.
It's a shabby friend. I mean, what you're talking about is that's ownership. You're blaming a player. A player's going to flex if he can, but you got to just say shut up. It's like a kid.
That's what I'm saying is why wouldn't they say shut up? Van Gundy's the coach.
He's going to push you. Devin's like, I want to stay up late. No, you ain't staying up late. But that starts from Benson down to Griffin down. You got to set it from there. And now what's going to happen again? Now this is a tough job. Whoever comes in, unless
Zion. Now they're talking about. I've even seen a bunch of reports today. And look, by all accounts, the women coaches in the NBA have been doing a great job. Okay, we're not getting into any of that shit.
Not the best person for the job,
but they're talking about maybe bringing in like one of the women coaches and being like, man. Is this the franchise? Are you such a trend-setting franchise that you're willing to do this with Zion Williamson
right
now and like test this for 3 or 4 years? Be the first. Hey man, it'll be break the ice, whatever.
The glass ceiling.
All that shit is great. And I think it's great. And I got no beef with that. But I'm saying, is this the franchise that's I could see if you try and do something so far out of the box as this, and it doesn't work, you got another superstar in 3 years that is gone.
Well, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. I mean, again, he's going to notice.
2 years of his life.
Not even that. I mean, well, first of all, they didn't play him his rookie year, which is, again, that if there was any year to steal one, that was it.
It's basketball. You go play. You're 18.
19 years old. So, I mean, that's right there, you know, they're fucking stupid. But, I mean, this is a very, if they don't bring someone in with, you know, skins on the wall, or someone who, you know, maybe
an up and comer. That, like, I have no problem with it being kind of an unknown.
But he's got to be able to commit. They got
a proven track record as an assistant at least of relating to these guys and getting them to play hard. And it can be a woman. I have no beef with it. I'm just saying, man, that's a big fucking chance you're taking to be the number one to do that. And have Zion Williamson sitting here.
Needs to be empowered, and that needs to be known throughout the building. That's where the buck stops. And it's a 5-year commitment or for whatever the deal is, but they can't run a dude out and another guy out in a year.
Right.
I mean.
Right. So, all right. While we're talking about, I want to get real quick. I'm going to cover a little bit of quick, good feeling sports web. I know you and Devin got LSU Tigers had a great run this year, and now you just came. I know you love the kids sports. Just came from all-star practice up there in Spring Lake. What's the name of that team going on?
Tri-Shore Little League All-Stars. I don't know. Let's go Tri-Shore. LSU Tigers went 12-1-2 this year. Devin pitched every inning.
Dig it. That's for the love of the game, man. That's where we came from, right?
Absolutely.
So I got a funny story. So George Burns texted me this week. His son GB4. That's GB4. I guess George is GB3. He played against Lojo. That's Ty Lewis's son.
Wow.
In a big tournament this week, and it was the Young Guns and the Tri-State Ghost. That's what Logan plays for. And the center court Young Guns, that's GB4. And they played in a huge tournament this week. And one of our old baseball coaches, Lanzalata, showed up, checked them out.
Oh, that's where that was at? All right.
Yeah. And so, but congratulations to GB4 and the center court Young Guns, 11 under. They won in
11 and under,
the big tournament. Yeah, the name of the tournament was the Perfect Game Super 25. That's what the tournament's called. Nice. And so I want to give a quick shout out to GB4 and Lojo.
That's right.
Don't worry, Lojo. You'll get him back. If I know Todd Lewis, he's probably got you in the batting cages right now.
That's right, with that stick. Yeah, the hit stick.
All right. So I just wanted to send that out there. And congratulations to the guys. And I know, but I mean, that's for the love of the game. And that's where we came from. And that's why it's not all bad. But now we're into baseball. Baseball.
Yeah, douchebags.
MLB comes out and says, look, pitchers, I know this has been against the rules your entire freaking life. And I'm saying freaking instead of fucking because I feel like, I mean,
now we're talking about
but
kids,
I felt like maybe GB4 and Lojo might have been on for that shout out.
Right.
So they might still be hanging around.
All right. Well, earmuffs.
So now they come out and say, listen, you know, your whole career, you're not supposed to put foreign substances on the ball, scuff up the ball, do all those things. So we're going to put our foot down. Again,
you could always go to your mouth. You could always go to you could use the rosin bag behind you.
Whether you could do some of this.
Right, go to your mouth.
But apparently now they put the suntan lotion is the big deal. They put that on their pants or something or on the brim,
right,
and
right.
It gives them some sticky for their hand.
Okay. Okay.
So now they come out. Baseball says, "Hey, we're going to crack down." Part of the crackdown is because they're striking out people left and right.
They got to do right. Well, that's not,
because
that's
dudes
not
can't hit anymore.
Can't hit anymore. Right. That's right. There's no There's no hitting.
Right. So they cracking down, Webb, and the pitchers are going ape shit.
Oh my
God!
They're
going to say, listen, you're going to get a 10-game suspension, which in modern day baseball that means like 2 starts if you're a starter. Usually stuff like that.
A 10-day. That's like one start, maybe. Not 10 games.
Yeah, 10 day. That's what I mean. So maybe 2 starts, maybe 2 starts.
Maybe.
Right. 1.5.
Right. It depends how you time it.
Right. They're having a fit.
Crazy.
Glass now, that's the guy from the Rays.
He's good. He's on my rotation.
Fireballer. Tyler, I think, right? Tyler
Yeah,
West.
Tyler Glass now. Yeah, he's good.
He's a good pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Smokes dudes. And he came up lame the other day. I think his elbow, his shoulder, or something, right? So he blames it on that he's no longer using suntan lotion on the ball.
So it hurt his shoulder.
So he had to, I don't know if he had to hold it harder to grip it.
Right. He had to really torque it.
Yeah, right. But he comes right out. They come right out and say it.
Right.
Like it used to be like one of the baseball unwritten.
Right. You'd be a little bit of a shit. You tried to hide it at least.
You try and be cool. You put it in your thing here, your little
you put it underneath the brim of your hat.
Whatever. Now it's just, no, listen, they're trying to make me do something I never did before. Pitch without sunblock on my hand. And he's bitching and moaning, saying that's probably why his arm is hurt.
Yep. Can't make it up.
And he's not the only one. Other guys have been doing the same. Like other guys are like really bitching and moaning about this.
On the White Sox, who pitched a no-hitter this year.
Well, actually, I think Rodon, I think it was him or maybe the other pitcher from the White Sox or something, came out and said, "You telling me that we're getting 10-game suspensions for doing this shit that we've been doing our whole life?" Right, and the Houston Astros have gotten
no, that's what it was. Yeah.
For cheating in the World Series.
They got nothing. Right. They got nothing. Right. That's what it was. Yeah.
I just can't believe how it's just a given that these dudes are using these.
Right. And even Garrett Cole, they asked him after his one outing, and he was like, "No comment," or he wouldn't answer him if they said if you use it, he wouldn't answer.
Right. And just like we talked about exit velocity is one of those words that they use all the time.
Right.
Well, spin rate. Spin rate is now the new.
That's right. Spin rate.
It's not enough to get a guy out. You need a spin rate,
right?
Of a certain thing. And the spin rates are way down since they've done this thing on every pitch, like across the board, the whole league.
Everybody, right.
And these dudes are still high and mighty about leaving Barry Bonds out of the fucking out of the Hall of Fame or these other guys. When everybody's cheating, they know it. These dudes are cheating, they know it.
Yeah, blatant. Right.
To the point where they're like, "What do you mean you're going to suspend us for this?"
Right. You're going to enforce that rule now?
Why don't they just stand out there with sandpaper and
right? Do a Gaylord Perry and what are the Negros?
Right. Yeah, it used to be fun. They'd come out once in a while. The dude would like throw it behind him.
Right. So the emery board.
It was like watching WWF wrestling. When
Exactly.
The dude had a razor and he'd throw it off the side.
Right.
But anyway, I don't know. I just maybe we're old. But cheating isn't new in baseball. But to say you're cheating is new.
Right.
That's all that's new about it.
How about you cheat better?
Unwritten rules.
Right. It was funny, Smitt. I was walking into the gym the other day, and there was something on the MLB network. I had walked past the TV, and they said scoring percentage in extra inning or something. I didn't look at it, but I'm curious to see. That's my thing. How many times, especially the home team, if the other team doesn't, how many times the home team bunts the guy to third to get him there at 1 out, and then you could score to win the game. Not take the lead, win the fucking game. I wonder how many times that's happened.
It doesn't even have to be a bunt. Can you hit a ground ball to the second baseman? That's all you have to do to move the guy to third base.
Right.
And then a fly ball. That's it. But it doesn't. I mean, you would think like when it started out, like, man, these teams are going to score every time. They got a guy on second base. Not really. No. Not really. Not in today's baseball.
Not as much. They're scoring less often than not.
Not today's baseball. And but watch out for the Padres though. You know what they got? I saw the other day.
Oh, you just said so.
A home run chain. The big thing like the Miami Hurricanes started a few years ago.
That's why they lost me. They lost fucking 6 in a row. They just cost me $200 this afternoon. Fuck them and their stupid ass chain.
Running around with a home run chain.
Yeah, how about you fucking bunt? Get a bunt chain.
Right. Oh
yeah,
shit.
There's
no end.
Swept by the Rockies, I think. What's today? Maybe there's one game tomorrow. Maybe the sweep will be tomorrow.
And then Stanton from the Yankees last week. They played the game. I think the Philly fanatic took a New York Yankees helmet and stomped on it or something.
Yeah, like one of those old school, like you used to get an ice cream sundae in the helmet or some shit. Yeah, like a plastic.
Get a problem. Stanton's got a problem with the Philly fanatic now. Watch out. Just like, did you see Kyrie Irving stamped on the Irish.
The leprechaun. The leprechaun.
Big baby Davis got a problem with that. He's going to kick Kyrie's ass next time he sees him
because he stomped on a painting of a leprechaun.
and then Big baby Davis when he hurt his ankle, when Kyrie hurt his ankle, he said, "You see, that's like karma."
Oh yeah, of course, that's right.
That's the ankle that he stepped on the guy's head with, but it was the opposite. It turned out it was the opposite ankle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He stole the leprechaun's pot of gold.
Oh man.
Fucking, it's hard to find douchebags. They're raining. They're falling from the sky.
And then it's a good thing that KD had a good game the other night, because I was gonna bitch about him about something the other day. Like, we all know superstars, they got bodyguards, right? They got their own personal bodyguard. No doubt. They go around town, go to the club. There's no doubt you would need one. Dudes would want to fuck with you all the time.
Right.
You know. So obviously no problem with that. But I've never seen it in my life where a dude would get into it with another player on the court
during the game. Right.
Not in the stands, not with a fan,
right?
Not any of that shit.
Not in the tunnel afterwards. Right.
On the court, like pushing, shoving, getting in his face on the court. And his own security guard comes running out the stands in a security outfit and gets in between them. What the fuck is going on here?
The world is ending.
The world is ending.
Understand the world.
Oh, I mean, okay, you got a bodyguard because out in the club, shit can get rough for a fucking dude of your stature.
You got to sit in this VIP. You want somebody in there. I get it. All right, whatever. You know, the dude will drive you. He'll do whatever.
Some dude's going to be egging you on every time you go out, I'm sure.
Right. Fucking with you,
just to be in the spotlight at the least, or to have you punched.
Right, exactly. Sue your ass, whatever it is.
But when the dude on the other team that's D'ing you up gets in your face and the fucking security guard runs out to the middle of the court, I mean, that ain't. I mean,
what are you gonna do? Somebody boxes you out, you're gonna fight. He's gonna go get him.
Yeah, a hard foul. Here it comes.
That's right. Here comes the security guard out of the stand.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Can't make it up.
And then in the world of it's got to be said on Twitter. We'll even go to NFL here for a second. We've talked about Le'Veon Bell for a while, and he comes. He's got to come out. Obviously, ever since he left the Steelers, things have not gone.
It's been a debacle, right? It's been
took a year off. Goes to the Jets. The Jets are the Jets. The Jets are who they are. Le'Veon Bell is who he is.
Right.
It's a disaster waiting to happen.
Dysfunction times 10.
So okay, well, you get a third opportunity to go to a Super Bowl, a Super Bowl contender, defending Super Bowl champs. You come in mid-season, I think it was.
Yeah, it was maybe not mid, but early. It wasn't the beginning of the
year. Like a hired gun to pick up the slack.
And his skills seem to match what they do. They throw the ball to the backs, blah blah blah.
Bringing a veteran back, solidify the backfield, head us into the playoffs, into the Super Bowl, give a little help. Comes out this week, I'll never play for Andy Reid again. Never play for Andy Reid again. He
said he'll retire.
Is he retired? He's probably retired now. Damn,
he'll retire. And then what's his name came out?
The Honey Badger, to the Honey Badger's credit, he comes out and says, "Man, these guys will blame anybody for sucking." Basically.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah,
they'll blame anybody for their own fucking
shitty play. Yep, absolutely.
So he came to Andy Reid's defense and the Kansas City Chiefs defense, and we like that. So that's a good a notch in the Honey Badgers.
Yeah, that's a plus in his column.
And Charles Barkley. He's getting tired of the cancel culture web. He said he's stepping down after his contract is up for inside the NBA. I guess he's got some joke that he says about San Antonio women. That's like his regular thing that he gets in trouble for. I don't know what it says exactly, but Barkley tells it like it is at this point, and he doesn't care if anybody does.
We need more and more and more.
Becoming one of our favorite guys. At least when you it's easy when you agree with them. It's when you disagree with them that they don't, but you know.
Well, they see also Derek Carr is another one that comes out. He goes, if the Raiders trade me, I'm going to retire. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not, you fucking asshole.
Kiss ass on your own time.
Right. Don't
go in literally to John Gruden's office and kiss him on the ass.
Go kick Mike Davis and tell him, Dow Davis' son, don't fucking lie to the American public. Yeah, no, you're not. You're not going to retire, you fucking asshole.
Say, hey, look, I'm happy now. I'm happy where I'm at.
I want to stay with the Raiders. They've been good to me. They drafted me. Right. I would love to finish my career
I
here.
hope they'll pay me $25 million for the next 10 years. That would be
Right.
awesome.
Perfect. Right.
Yep. I would love the Raiders too.
Regardless of making the playoffs or not.
Right. I would love the Raiders too.
Right.
All right. And then we go Michigan football, Webb. Michigan.
Oh, yeah,
proud team.
Well, they're under some bad. They're getting some bad left. They're taking hits left and right.
Well, yeah, but we're not going to get into that other thing. We're just taking it. We're taking it light here.
Right.
They banned red Gatorade from all of their athletic buildings because it's like Ohio State.
Not only the football team, but the swim team, the tennis team.
It may have started on one of those other teams, to be honest. It might not have even started with the football team.
So is that not the ultimate? Like, if you're in Ohio State locker room, are you not laughing your fucking ass off at these fucking these assholes? Like, are you kidding me? They can't even. I would just go around drinking blue and yellow Gatorade if I was on Ohio State.
They should at Ohio State. They should only have blue and yellow.
Right.
Like we eat you.
Right.
You know what I mean? We
own
suck
you.
Your shit. We
right.
suck
Right. Right. You are nothing to us. You are sustenance.
Yeah. You keep us going. Because Harbaugh has I don't think he's ever beaten Ohio State.
Never.
I mean, what more ownership can you have than to be like, man, are we in your head that bad? You can't drink a red drink?
You guys all right?
You can't drink a damn red drink?
That's right.
All right. I don't know what else. I don't know if we have a douchebag of the week. By the way, it is officially the Will Burr Investigations douchebag of the week. Will Burr Investigations over there in the Monmouth County area. If you need somebody to watch out for, you had some bad checks, you got anything like that, make sure you call them. If you're not sure how to contact them, go online, or you can ask us and we'll help you out. And in fact, next time, make sure we get that, because they kicked in more money. So the next time that we have a contest,
sponsor again.
They are the Will Burr Investigations contest, but they're enjoying. George tells me he enjoys the douchebag of the week.
Well, I have one here. Collectively, it could be Major League Baseball pitchers. That could be.
Could be.
And now, but I saw something today before we got on. You remember Vince Wilfork? He was a defensive tackle for the Patriots.
Big old fat.
I think he went to the U, but he was on those Patriot teams for years. And I think he finished up with Houston. Anyway, I saw something today that his son stole all his Super Bowl rings. So that's my nominee for stealing
or to get back at him in some kind of way.
I guess I didn't really say. Yeah, he pawned. Like he said, his dad thought. I guess they moved from. He paid for Houston, so they moved. So the dad wasn't sure that they were gone, or he couldn't find some other jewelry too. So a lifelong Patriots fan somehow reached out to Vince, just said, "Just so you know, I just saw your Super Bowl rings at the fucking pawn shop."
All right.
So
Will Fork II Jr.
Right. Yes,
is our douchebag of the week.
Yes.
But let's say with LeBron, we could almost call it the Will Burr Investigations LeBron James Award at this point.
Right, absolutely.
Because he's got something every week, just when you think he doesn't. I'm sure Zach Wilson of the Jets will get it one day, or at least his mom. Or now he popped up at the Knicks game the other night, smoking hot girlfriend. Webb, what you would expect, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he was at the Islanders games too, with all the rookies were at the Islanders game, chugging beers with the dude. So that was a good look actually for him.
All right, good for him. We're watching Zach Wilson. We're on him. His mom's on the Instagram. Only fan shit. We're watching this. This is gonna be fun. Jets. We might talk about the Jets way more than we have in the past.
Right.
And Nick Perone and the guys will love that.
Be happy, exactly.
So we got anything else for tonight? I think that's
we covered it.
Pretty good wrap up of all the assholes. It's just this show's just turned into a bitch fest for an hour once a week.
Well,
every week.
It seems like you got to talk about what's current. We got to give the people what they want. 2-0 Canadians, by the way, Smitt.
Oh shit, I want Vegas to knock that shit out.
First period. Oh, and by the way, wager makers are 2-0 in that UEFA soccer championship.
The Italy won today?
They smoked them, yeah. And then I had the under yesterday in the Germany game, and that's ongoing. So please check our Sports Watch monitor.
Yeah, Sports Watch monitor. I'm be better about getting on that starting this week.
Was on vacation. Yeah, we're doing good. We're heating up today. I had a very good day. Let's at the Padres. They started off very good. And the Padres hurt me these past 3 days.
Assholes.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Wilbur Investigations. Wilbur Investigations, especially. That they're going to help us out for the next whatever the next tournament we do is. C. Reilly, Little Saint the Goat, John Grove for all the music, MN3 Technologies and Nick Peroni intern. And catch us anywhere. You can catch us on podcast, and you know where to reach us. And
YouTube,
Devin's going to tell us about YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Thanks, Devin. And thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week with number 94. Webb, take us out.
Brick by brick, baby. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And thanks, very special shout out to Wilbur Investigations once again for the sponsorship. Way to go, GB4. Congrats on that. I've been to a couple of those tournaments. That's a big deal. Good for them. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And we'll be back next week.
Welcome to the Wager Makers podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker Podcast with Smitt and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right. Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.